Welcome back to Lake Erie Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, for round 2 of the Great Lakes ProAm series, driven by Pro Waste Services. Today we're going to be doing qualifying for the top 32. Oh, top 16. Top 16, my apologies. Qualifying criteria today, drivers will complete 2 non-consecutive runs. A perfect score will consist of 100 points divided up between line for 30 points, angle for 30 points, and style for 40 points. Line is the ability of the driver to fill the outside zones and get close in proximity to the front clipping points without hitting them. Angle is how much the driver is able to maintain throughout the course. And style is the driver's ability to navigate the course, transition smoothly, and not make corrections to the angle of the car. Also included in style is commitment, is the confidence of the driver throughout the course based on speed and aggressiveness. Also fluidity, the rotation of the vehicle without corrections, and maintaining a smooth radius of the turns. Deductions will be given under the following conditions: double initiations, 2 or more tires off course, missing zones or clips, straightening, lack of angle, or offline. A 0 will be scored given under the following conditions: opposite drift, spinning out, or 4 wheels off course. Up first, we have Fred Maybach out of Silver Creek, New York, in his BMW M3, sponsored by Fredworks. Fred initiates into the first corner, filling out that zone pretty nicely, maintaining some good angle. Coming into zone 2, gets nice into that box. Moving through to zone 3. See how he hits that in the foot, good angle throughout the entire way. Finish is pretty strong. We'll see how the judges score that here in just a moment.
And Fred actually finished second in the first round, but he is our points leader and our defending champion. Looks like Fred Maybach got a 68 on his first qualifying run.
Up next, we have Dan Malvazio, who is the winner of the round 1 at the Pro-Am series here. He actually beat Fred out. It was real good runs by both of these drivers. Dan filling out that zone 1. Dan really is a shredder. That kid can drive.
And Dan comes out of Slatington, PA.
He's one of the evergreen boys. Crazy guys out there. Up next, we'll have Andrew Shorkey out of Barrie, Ontario. One of our brothers from the Great White Frozen North. Sponsored by FDF, FabMac, Drift HQ, and Odan Wheels. Also Inspired Technologies. Dan Malvazio with a 73. So far, our points leader. Let's see how Andrew Shorkey can do here in his first qualifying run. Interested to see how he scores here.
Such an amazing sound.
Andrew Shorkey with an 88 on his first qualifying run. Up next, we have Aaron Spiegel out of Bowling Green, Ohio. Sponsored by Resolute Vinyl, ICT Billet. Quite getting all the way out into that first outer zone. Got into the wall a little bit. Seems like he's made the corrections he needs. Really filling out these zones. Wonder if that little impact might have towed him out on the driver's side rear wheel there a little bit. Seems like something might be off.
Aaron Spiegel is heading back in the pit. It's actually a pretty new car for him. He was actually in a pretty bad fire at another venue and lost his Corvette that he actually brought out here the first round. So, but he was all right. And Spiegel with a 52 on his first run.
Up next, we have Kevin Madden out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sponsored by Oddball Motorworks, Race Lab Industries, in his LS1 powered 240 SX. Kevin's a pretty good driver here too. He always seems to score pretty well.
Kevin actually finished fourth.
Nice proximity there. Right there.
Kevin Madden with a 57 in his first run. Next up is Theon Nelson from Elyria, Ohio. His Nissan 370. And his sponsors are his mom and dad. There you go, mom and dad.
Thanks. Leon doing a pretty good job here. Decent angle. Trying to fill these zones out here. Decent proximity on that front clipping zone. See if we can manage his way up. Not quite.
Unfortunately, Theon with a 0.
Seems like he didn't quite finish the run there. Up next here, Austin Phillips in his third. Sponsored by Jeff Resolute Tire Streets and Vinyl Exteriors and more.
I don't know if that's going to be a good run.
Straightened out there.
The judges
Probably
are
going to end up
like
being a
this.
0 though,
I think something might have been broke on this car.
Up next, we have Casey Rodriguez out of Fremont, Ohio.
Unfortunately, Justin Phillips with a 0 on his first run.
Casey Rodriguez in his LS powered 350Z. Member of Yeet Fleet. These guys always come out here and throw down pretty hard. Casey with a nice e-brake initiation in the first outer zone. Nice long run. Good angle. Didn't quite throw that outer zone. Front point here, so quite
I actually just found out that Aaron Spiegel lost his power steering on his first run, so yeah, he said he's just going to show up without power steering from now on. Because it always seems to break on him.
Those LS cars, man, they always have issues with power steering. Casey Rodriguez with a 64 on his first qualifying run. Up next, Jacob Lobenstein out of Gloversville, New York, with a laundry list of sponsors. LA Performance, Phoenix Industries, Tire Streets, Capital Region Customs, Hawk Performance, Rhino USA, EP Automotive, BRB Motorsports, Midden Auto Tint and Customs, FDF Race Shop, and Phantom Auto Works. Jacob doing a real good job filling that first outer zone. nice wide line and unfortunately spins out.
Jake's in a Nissan 240 SX. But unfortunately, that first run is not going to fare well to the judges.
Pretty sure that's a ProCharged LS too, which is probably making a boatload of horsepower. I know he just got the car finished just a few days ago. It's probably
yeah, he's been
ironing
working
it
on
all
it.
out. Yeah.
And he actually, unfortunately, got a 0 on that run.
Up next here we have Justin Winbigler out of Redford, Michigan. He's in a BMW Z3 with an S52 turbocharged, sponsored by Grip Royal, Feel Suspension, and Tire Streets. Justin's been coming out to events here for a few years now. He's built himself into quite the ripper. Always seems to throw down pretty hard. Kind of dig the hodgepodge look to his car, honestly. It's kind of my style.
Yeah.
You know.
It looks good still.
Yeah, I mean mine. You know, my 240 was pink and green and blue and black and gray and.
It was, yes.
You know. Off goes Justin Winbigler here. Man, that thing sounds pretty good. Those are pretty hard into outer zone 1. Nice big flick. Good angle. Filling out zone 2 here. Kind of gets out there a little too far. See how he recovers here. Filling it all the way out. Up next we have Joshua Leatherbear out of North Collins, New York, and his 135i LSA powered, sponsored by Accelera Tires. Justin Winbigler with a 58 on his first run. Hopefully he can recover from that on his second qualifying run here. Let's see how Josh does. Josh is part of Team Hostile out of Buffalo, New York. A pretty good driver. He makes a lot of horsepower in that thing. Nice big flick into the first outer zone. Makes it a little wide, dumps a cone over. Maintain a decent angle throughout. Into zone 2. Gets a nice wide line. A lot of angle. Yeah, he goes here into the front clipping zone. Decent proximity to the cone here. Pretty decent. See what the judges come up with for his score here.
Just heading back to the pits. Almost getting down to the last of the first round here, our first qualifying run. And everybody will get another stab at it here.
All right, Josh Leatherbarrow with a 65 on his first qualifying run. Up next, we have Tom Perner out of Jackson, Michigan, sponsored by himself, BC Racing, TC Tuned, FDF Fab, and Kanzai Wheels. Tom, another member of Yeet Fleet. Absolute killer behind the wheel, really. I mean, it always depends on what car he shows up with on how hard he drives, but he's got a whole fleet of them himself.
I think Shorkey is leading so far, and then then Malvazio and Maybach are the top 3 qualifiers. So they're all going for $100 for the top qualifier spot. So everybody here is. So and then Nathan Sell Photography is putting in another 100 to the top qualifier. So the top qualifier will get $200 bonus. Going into tomorrow's top 16, $1,000 purse to the top 3, $500 for first, $300 for third, $200 for second. And we actually need to thank, couple sponsors here, Boosted Bulbs. They came on board to kind of help out. Little 30% off for each round to the winner. And Tire Stacks, first, second, and third, each get gift certificates. $250 for first, second's $100, third's $100 for each round. Formula Drift Link ECU Pro Spec actually came on to be a part of our Pro-Am. And top 3 in points at the end of the year will get some money, but also a Pro Spec license and a Link ECU.
Tom shredding his back up with it. Took out a cone and really trying to throw down here. He said he was coming out swinging this round, so he's definitely not disappointed.
Tough run there on the.
That Mustang is pretty crazy. Tom Perner with a 66 on his first qualifying run. Which moves him into 4th place qualifier.
Next up is Elliott Rose from Canton, Ohio, sponsored by Tire Streets, BC Racing, and his Scion FRS, the LS V8.
Pretty big flick in outer zone 1. Fills that zone out pretty good. Coming into outer zone 2, nice angle. Little too much on it there. I think he'll make a little bit of a correction on his line there, but overall not a bad adjustment. Nice and braking. Pretty fluid finish.
A pretty good run. Next up will be Tony Schmidt in his Chevy Corvette, sponsored by FDF from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Elliott Rose with a 74 on his first qualifying run here, which will move him into second place. Tony Schmidt is off. Nice big flick in the outer zone one. Fills that zone out all the way. Zone two. Nice full commitment there. Getting up pretty close to the wall through that inner clipping zone. See how he fills out this last one. Seems like the drivers are struggling with that last outer zone a little bit, just being able to push the car out far enough.
You can watch the replay here, Tony Schmidt. And his score is up to 57. Yeah, I think he missed some points there, you know. Next up, Alan Boss, his Nissan 350Z with LS9 Team Yeet Fleet from Oak Harbor, Ohio. Alan actually won our last round of 2021. Had a little trouble the first round. You know, hopefully he gets it back under control here.
Casey with a nice aggressive flick into the first outer zone. Just ripping limiter in that. Pretty rotten. Getting way out toward the wall here. Nice proximity in that front clipping point. See if we can push the car out that last outer zone pretty nicely.
Watch the replay of Alan Boss there. I think he did pretty good.
They tricked you.
Just trying to watch a replay on my end. There it is. With the 71, Alan Boss. So I believe that puts him into fourth place so far. With you know, everybody's got another run.
71.
Next up is Alex Brent. BMW 135i.
Looks like he might be in a borrowed car this time.
Oh, yep.
It's a E36.
Yeah, it's an E36, and it's a little bit off here. I don't think that's going to be a very good judge around here. Sponsored by Bridge Moto and Seems Legit Garage from Huntington, Vermont. He definitely got the inner clip on that. And he did not get out to that outer zone.
135 is going to make quite a bit more power than this relatively stocky 36, so I'm sure it's quite the adjustment for him. I mean, he would.
Unfortunately, Alex Brent with a 0. Looks Paul Sway is up next. Nissan 240 LS swap, sponsored by Stage Wheels from Temperance, Michigan. A lot of Michigan representing this round.
I think Eat Fleet's been bringing all those boys from the Midwest. Nice seeing the events grow like this. Nice e-brake entry into the first outer zone here. Nice wide line, good angle. Unfortunately, doesn't even get out to outer zone 2. Seems like that's going to be
I think he knows it.
That's going to be a 0 for him.
Probably going to be 0. Judges in. Next up is Eric Russ, RX 350Z. Oddball Motor Works from Norwalk, Ohio, with his gasoline-powered engine. Yeah.
These guys.
Good thing it's gasoline-powered.
Some of these guys are comedians, I think. Paul Sway with a 0 on his first qualifying run as well. Decent entry into the first outer zone. Push his line out to outer zone 2, fill that box out all the way. Very nice.
Pretty decent run by Eric.
Up nice, close to that wall, filling out that inner zone. See if he can push the car all the way out, outer zone 4. It seems like a struggle for a lot of these drivers to get all the way out there. Eric Russ with a 61 on his first qualifying run.
Next up is Sam Armstrong in his Nissan 350Z LS53, sponsored by Dayton 1, Big Duck Club, Millersburg Tire Service, FAC Motorsports, Low Horizon Fab, Street Crimes Drift from Dayton, Ohio.
Nice clutch kick into outer zone 1. Doesn't quite get out into the box. See if he can make the corrections he needs for zone 2 here. Decent correction, but unfortunately that's going to be another 0 in this spin.
Next up is going to be Jackson Orr from Newport, North Carolina, and his BMW E36, the Turbo M52. And Sam Armstrong unfortunately got a 0. Jackson Orr sponsors 144 Print House, Daco, and Big Duck Club.
Struggles a little bit on initiation there, but seems to make the correction. And out of zone 1 out. Into out of zone 2. Goes a little too hard and 4 tires off and then spins, unfortunately. Up next, we have Chad Anderson out of Westland, Michigan.
Unfortunately, Jackson Orr got a 0 on that run.
In his Coyote-powered 325i, sponsored by Koenig Wheels, Daco, Gem Sport, and 27 Club. I'm not certain I've ever seen Chad Anderson drive here before, so I'm kind of curious to see how he does on his first qualifying round here.
Very sharp looking car.
Thing sounds good too. Nice entry. Really filling out that outer zone 1. Nice angle. A lot of smoke. Really good line. Filling that outer zone 2 out perfectly. See if we can maintain this. That thing is really blowing some smoke. Nice proximity on that inner clip. See how he does with zone 4 here. That's a very good qualifying run here by Chad Anderson.
That is a very good run. We'll see what the judges have to say, but from up here, it looks pretty good. Next up is Mike Steele from Woodland, Michigan, in his Nissan 240SX LS1.
Yeah, Steely Dan.
Sponsored by Detroit Drifting Company. You see that replay from Chad Anderson. Like I said, this might be his first time here. Great looking car, a lot of power, and he scores an 84.
Which will move him into second place
so far, behind Andrew Shorkey.
Up next here we have Mike Steele in his LS1 powered Nissan 240SX, sponsored by Detroit Drifting Co. out of Woodland, Michigan. A member of Bobby's crew. A lot of sharp cars on that team. Really love the roof on his car here. Nice big American flag. Nice e-brake entry into outer zone 1. Fills out the entire zone. Pretty great. Coming into zone 2 here. E-brakes and another real good proximity through that outer zone 2. Through this inner clip zone, nice proximity to the cone here. Pushing the car out into zone 4, really laying on the smoke. What a beautiful run by Mike Steele.
Next up is Taylor Braun from Blasdale, New York, in his Ford Fox Body Mustang 302, sponsored by TJB Industries, and yeah, I think he's doing this for Dale. Doing it for Dale.
He always does it for Dale. He Taylor's he's one of our resident partiers here at Lake Erie Speedway. He drifted, I think, 2 years with a old Chevy Silverado that was beat to heck, but he really made that thing look fun.
He does make a mean brisket, and Mike Steele with a 93
Moves him into
moves into
one
first
qualifier.
qualifier. So far, everybody's got another round here, though.
What a good run by Mike Steele. See how Taylor does on his first qualifying run here. Nice flick into outer zone 1. Standing on limiter. Nice line. Good angle. Filling out outer zone 2 pretty well. So I can do with this inner zone 3. Gets right out to the wall there. Little wide on the inner clip. Little over rotation, I think. Makes the correction. Doesn't quite get into that outer zone 4 the way the judges would like.
All right, now we're coming into the second run of everybody's qualifying group. Mike Steele is your leader so far. Andrew Shorkey second. And I believe Chad Anderson's third. So everybody else is coming back out here, and we're going to do their second runs. Fred Maybach, current points leader, is up first. Taylor Braun has a 61 on his first run. I believe this might be his first time competing in something like this. I don't think he competed last year.
I'm not sure if he made it out to the round 1 either. I know he did compete at Evergreen in their first drift competition that they had just a few weeks ago. Taylor actually street drives that car.
It's a sharp car.
He drove it all the way to Florida to drive at OSW earlier this year.
Okay.
He has
Very
a tire
cool.
rack for the roof of it. And,
Yeah, I've seen
you
that
know,
before. It's
yeah,
pretty neat. It's
yeah,
pretty neat. He makes a mean brisket too.
Yes, he does.
Fred Maybach with his second run here.
Nice flick into outer zone 1. Really taking notes from his first qualifying run, trying to make the corrections here. Great angle, getting way out. Kind of misses the mark on outer zone 2.
Outer zone 2. Let's see if he gets this front clip here.
Nice out, tight, close to the wall.
Pretty good on
Decent
that
proximity.
front clip, and he's gonna get.
Ooh, unfortunately, Fred Maybach.
Fred is gonna get a 0 on that.
Spin City, sir. That's not like Fred. He's usually very, very consistent.
All right, Dan Malvazio is gonna start here with his second run after the track gets put back together. Unfortunately, Fred Maybach with a 0 on that, so he will be holding strong with his 68. All right, so on the screen here, you got the scores so far, where everybody's at. And let's see what Malvazio has on his second run here.
Nice flick into outer zone 1. Filling out most of that zone there. Good line has to make a little bit of a correction through outer zone 2. Doesn't quite push out as far as he wants to, I'm sure. Decent proximity through that inner clipping zone. See how he does pushing the car out here. Staying nice and wide on that outer zone 4.
Decent run by Dan. Actually curious if Steele will even come out for his second run. I mean, 93, I mean, it's, I don't know, many people that are gonna, that's pretty high.
I mean,
yeah, out
that's
of a 100-point scale, that's pretty high.
Andrew Shorkey's the guy to
And
beat
Andy
him for
Shorkey,
sure.
there he is,
He's
coming
the one.
up here. And Dan with a 71 on his second run.
Andrew's definitely the one with the power and the skill to compete with Mike on this layout here.
Let's see what Shorkey has. He was very upset with COVID, as many of us. He wasn't able to come down and have fun with us all 20 and 2021. So.
Big flick in outer zone 1 there. Looks like he picked up a cone and decided to take it for a little ride. Filling out that outer zone 2, getting close to the wall. Lots of angle. Nice wide line. Great proximity to that inner clipping point. See how he does pushing the car out. Fortunately, there's a little bit of understeer there, and I think he must have.
That's not usual for him either.
No, it's not.
This course is definitely a little different for everybody. There's layout. So, talking to, a few of the drivers, that's just like, it makes us get better, and we got to get better, So, but I think obviously some guys, had their first run, they figured it out, and then just stuff happens, just like in motorsports, right?
Yeah, it's. Unfortunately, Andrew Shorkey's gonna zero out on that run.
And Aaron Spiegel's up next.
Yeah, it's, this time of day too, you have the sun shining on certain spots of the track, and then, an hour goes by between their first and second qualifying run, and another part of the track cools off, and, it's
absolutely, and
can cause a little havoc, I guess.
Mike Steele pulled back out here, so it's competition, right? You just keep running.
You no guarantees, right? Spiegel with his second qualifying. See if he can make the adjustments needed to bring that 52 score up. Get him a little higher in the bracket.
Didn't really get too far out there on outer zone 1. Let's see if he can miss outer zone 2 there. But, still getting used to this car, I think. Definitely,
yeah,
I think still getting used to this car.
Definitely takes time, Not easy to
just pushed it out there.
Not easy to figure out a new vehicle right off the bat, especially showing up, to qualify at a purse event.
Oh, right. And I think after the fire, he might have taken that car to Texas. I don't know. I think he went down to Texas for some stuff, but and he was I don't know if he ran the 50K at Riverside, but I don't know if he attempted that or not.
Not totally sure. I try to follow all these drivers, but there's so many.
There's so many of them, and that was a pretty cool event. Spiegel with a 52 on his second run.
Twin 52s.
So we'll see if that's enough to get him into the top 16. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens here. Kevin Madden is up next. We'll see his first run. He got a 57, excuse me. We'll see if he can better himself. Gets out there in outer zone 1 and kind of fills it out there. Coming to outer zone 2, and he fill out zone 2 there. And he
cuts it
just
short
ups,
and
he
spins
just upset himself, I believe. And unfortunately, Kevin Madden will have a 0, and hopefully that 57 gets him into the top 16. Next up is Justin Phillips. And Phillips zeroed out on his first run, so he definitely needs some sort of score here to even attempt to get into the top 16. And Theon Nelson is actually not going to make it out here for this run. He should have been before Justin Phillips. Something happened to his car on the first run, so he's not going to make it out, so he will get a 0 for this second run. Justin Phillips is up next. Like I said, he definitely needs some sort of score here, so we'll see what happens. And he's having a little issue trying to get to these outer zones, but he did okay there in outer zone 2. Let's see what he does on the inner clip here, if he can get close here. Not too shabby. Pretty good angle.
Over rotation there. Into the tire.
Into the tire and into the barrier. And unfortunately, that's a 0. And we're going to have to move that tire back into position to kind of...
Doesn't seem like he got into that jersey barrier too hard.
No,
though,
I don't
so
think he
that's
hit that jersey barrier. I think he hit that tire first and kind of stopped
He definitely
himself.
touched the barrier there a little bit, but hopefully it didn't do any damage to the front end of his car.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Justin. Looks like he might have got a little dent there as he's turning up into the pit area. Next up is Casey Rodriguez is up next. We had to get that tire moved back into position, and once the judges are good to go, I think Casey can be on his second run. Let's see what Casey does. Casey's first run was a 64. So he filled out the first outer zone there, and let's see if he can come into the second zone. Pretty good on that second one. He's actually a pretty green drifter, to be honest. Last year might have been his first year. He might have had a year and a half under his belt. And big flick, but that doesn't allow him to get to that outer zone 3 at the end there. So we'll see what the judges have to say. I don't know if he's going to have a very high score on that one. And Casey with a 62 on his second run, so
unfortunately, it doesn't best his first run.
Yeah, it doesn't help him out, but we'll see what happens here for the top 16.
As of right now, we only have 16 drivers with points on the board. So a couple of these drivers have a chance at bettering their 0. Hopefully, get some competition out here for these other drivers. Jake Lobenstein zeroed his first run, so let's see if he can make the adjustments necessary and get a better run under his belt here. Nice big flick into outer zone 1. Nice wide line. Setting himself up through zone 2. And unfortunately
loops it around.
Spin.
He's going to get a 0 on this run. Just something's going on with that car, I believe. And unfortunately, I mean, some of these guys are keeping the track crew busy. But next up is Justin Winbigler. Let's see what this guy from Team Relentless has to do.
He had a 58 on his first
58
qualifying
on his
run.
first run.
Should be in a position to better himself here. I mean, he's a pretty adaptive driver.
Pretty good in outer zone 1. He holds it the whole time. Coming into outer zone 2, see if he can. A little wide, and that's going to mess him up on that outer zone 2. He definitely missed that outer zone 2. And unfortunately, this might mess up his whole run here.
Gets out there nice and wide. Now zone 4.
And track crew.
Trying to make the adjustments necessary and maybe overcompensate it a little bit.
Next up, Winbigler with a 53. I do not think that bettered his first score. He had a 58. Leatherbarrow, Josh Leatherbarrow is up next. Once the track gets set here, we will let him go. And first, he got a 65 on his first run. So we shall see if he can better this run.
Nice big flick into outer zone 1. Fortunately, doesn't get him all the way into the zone to begin with. See how he makes the adjustments through zone 2 here. Pushing out nice and tight to the wall. Punting that cone. It's a hostile drift team thing to do, is cone killing. E-brake into outer zone 4 here. Zone pretty good.
He definitely filled out that outer zone.
Curious to see if that'll beat his first round score of a 65.
And Leatherbarrow with a 73, so that did better his first score, so that definitely helps him try to get into that top 16. Next up is Tom Perner. It's pretty interesting with the drones land up here, just like a thud.
Tom Perner with a 66 on his first qualifying run. Let's see if he can make the adjustments necessary to bump his score a little bit, get him a little higher in that bracket.
Prop Productions doing a very good job with our live stream. Great group of guys, but great group of drone pilots. I definitely think drone pilots are key during the competitions to definitely have.
Definitely makes it really nice for us just being able to see the entire track while these drivers are making their run. Tom Perner, nice flick into outer zone 1. Nice left foot brake to fill the entire zone. Nice wide line coming into outer zone 2. Filling out that pocket pretty decent. Kind of standing on that brake. That S550 sure does sound pretty good. Good proximity on that inner clipping point. See how he does here. Filling out this last zone. You see the smoke just rolling off that front tire.
I'm not sure if he took that delineator with him or not. He definitely ran square over it.
Tom definitely is really testing the tenacity of those front brakes on that S550.
Yeah, Tom
with a 70
Tom
for his
took
second
the
qualifying run.
delineator, I believe, here from outer 4. So that doesn't help matters here.
I think they're running to get it right now. So Tom ended up taking one of the cones with him. The pit crew's running up there right now to try to retrieve it from underneath his car.
All right, yeah, we're trying to get the delineator that Tom Perner took with him. Tom Perner's with Yeet Fleet, so he is out in the parking lot, so maybe somebody can kind of help us a little bit over there so we can get that back down here on the track. Top 5. In 5th place so far is Dan Malfazio with a 73. Elliott Rose, who's up next here, sitting with a 74 in 4th. Chad Anderson with an 84 in 3rd. Andrew Shorkey with an 88 in 2nd. And Mike Steele with a 93 so far, sitting in 1st place. I said Elliott Rose is coming into his 2nd run here, but we are actually just waiting for a delineator. Oh, we got one. Here it comes. Got it. Matt Monkelian here on a little 4-wheeler coming in here. And I'm kind of glad he's not doing a wheelie. So I'm doing the other day, or today actually, and it scared me. Scared me because of where he did it. But anyways.
He's a dangerous kid, that guy.
But yeah, so I mean, it's like I said, this is the 2nd round. The Great Lakes ProAm Series, supported by Formula Drift Pro Spec. The top 3 finishers in the points will actually get their Pro Spec license and a Link ECU for the Pro Spec division, which actually helps these drivers a lot. And it looks like Elliott Rose is going to be getting ready to go here on his 2nd run. We're getting close here on 2nd runs here, and hopefully we run everybody down, and then everybody's going to have a fun time the rest of the night here.
Nice aggressive launch by him. See how he does through the course. Fills out outer zone 1 pretty decent.
Let's just hope nobody hits a delineator.
Going and moving into outer zone 2.
Spoke too soon, but he filled it out pretty
Filled
nice.
out the zone pretty nicely.
Very nice.
decent
what it does
line,
in the
getting
front
out
clip.
close to that
Yeah,
wall.
pretty good in the front clip here. And unfortunately, doesn't
Just
get it.
not gonna
Doesn't
make it.
get it.
See if that's enough to best his 74 on his first run.
Definitely looking like he's going to be in the top 16. So, I mean, he was just trying to better it. But Tony Schmidt's up next. His first run was a 74.
57.
Oh, 57. Excuse me. 57. So, definitely hoping to better his run here the second time around.
We haven't had a driver.
Well, so far we have a top 16. We have a bunch of zeros here, unfortunately, but some of these guys can still better their run from the first time. So we'll see what happens here.
Elliott Rose with a 67 on his second run here, which unfortunately doesn't move him up anywhere in the standing.
No,
but
he's sitting fourth, so I mean
he
he could still be in the top 5 here. So Tony Schmidt will be up next here.
see if he can make some adjustments from his first qualifying run to try to better that 57. Tony's he's a pretty aggressive driver, so I'm always excited to watch him drive. Nice big flick into outer zone 1.
He's holding it
Keeping
pretty
that
good.
tire on the line. Not quite pushing out there far enough into outer zone 2. Seems to fill that
barely in
zone
there.
out, but
See what it does here in the front. No, and unfortunately yep, and he knew it.
Drift there,
He
and
knew it. He lost.
that's gonna
lost the
zero
drift
Tony
straightened
on
out
his-
here, and unfortunately gets a 0. No, he's still right now. He's still in the top 16, right? So, so we'll see what happens here on the. Next up here is Alan Boss. See another driver from Yeat Fleet. This third one in the competition. And we'll see what happens here.
Sitting right now with a 71. Nice big
mean.
flick.
Mean power.
Thing is nasty sounding.
So
Filling
good
out
power
that
out
outer
of there.
zone 1 pretty good. Lots of smoke. Good
First
angle.
round he had some issues, but barely gets in that outer zone 2 there. Let's see what he does here. Oh, yeah, corrected
Pouring
it.
on the power.
Corrected it. He almost lost that drift, so he had to correct it.
Ooh, he was right up on that
Right
Jersey
on that
barrier.
wall.
You could see the back of the car bump up a little bit. Looks like he drove right up on the wall a little
And
bit.
hopefully Yeat Fleet didn't take another one of our didn't win. Hopefully they left this one. Oh, it is down on the track. Thank goodness. See how close he gets to this wall here. Huh. Looked a lot closer from up here.
It's the next
Oh, it's the next one.
Yeah,
The next one. Let's see, coming in here. Oh, 63 on his second run. And we're not going to be able to see it on the replay here, but I was really hoping to see that one. So I don't know if that better. Did he 0 on his first one?
71.
71. So he did not better. So yeah, he did not better. So all right, let's see what Alex Brent does.
Alex zeroed on his first run as well, so let's see if he can put some points on the board with his second qualifying run here.
We appreciate you guys all tuning in to our live stream at Lake Erie Speedway here, driven by Pro Waste for the Great Lakes Pro-Am Series second round. And yeah, the cars are just not.
Unfortunately, it's just not
set up for him. He's just struggling. Unfortunately, I think he's just trying to make something out of this and have a good time. I mean, he drove a long ways. I mean, he's from Vermont, so. Unfortunately, Brent with a second 0 of the day.
Up next, we have Paul Sway, who also zeroed on his first run. So hopefully, maybe he can do what he has to do here. Get a little bit of competition, into this top 16 bracket that we do have, and put some points on the board here. He's got a killer mustache.
Good.
Nice e-brake entry. See if we can keep the car in that zone here. Filling out outer zone 1 relatively all right. So far, good enough run to put some points on the board for him. And 4 tires off.
Unfortunately, 4 tires off right there on outer 2.
Another 0.
Unfortunately, Paul Sway with a 0. Next up is Eric Russ. Eric Russ scored 61 on his first run. Let's see if he can better that. Move up in the qualifying standings here. There goes Eric Russ on his second run. Pretty big correction. Almost had to correct. Stayed out there in the outer zone 1, coming into outer zone 2. Almost fills it. Filled it out pretty decently. Let's see what coming into the clip here. Decent angle. Into the last outer zone. Not too bad. Not too bad by Eric.
Definitely seems like a run good enough to
Get
maybe
some
bump
points.
him up in the ranking,
Yeah, I don't think it was any worse. Next up will be Sam Armstrong. He's going to try to better. He got a 0 on the first run. And waiting for Eric Russ's score here. And I was kind of having a tough time there as he's going through the layout.
Pretty sure he runs a really wide tire on there.
Eric Russ with a 56. That did not better his first run, but he's still in the top 16 right now. So Sam Armstrong's up next. Let's hopefully he can better his first run.
Does a pretty good job getting into the outer zone 1. We can make the adjustments coming through zone 2.
Not too bad. It's definitely a better run for him so far. And he just over rotated, I guess, if that's a thing. And unfortunately, he got another 0 here and won't be in the top 16. Jackson Orr from North Carolina.
Oh, you fancy.
Actually got 5 states representing, and Shorkey is from Ontario, but 5 states for this round.
Yeah, 5
which is
states
pretty cool.
and a whole country.
And a whole country.
Right up next, we have Jackson Orr. His first run, he zeroed out as well. Hopefully, again, we can get another driver to get some points on the board, make this competition.
Decent enough run to get some points here. Zones, he just wasn't getting completely out there, but should be enough to get him some points. I don't know if it'll be enough to get him in the top 16 though. We'll see what the judges have to say. You can actually see on the replay here.
He's got to beat a 52 to get on the board here.
Got to beat a 52. Let's see if Jackson can do it here. Got 3 more drivers here, and Chad Anderson's up next. He had an 84 his first run, so and a 41 for Jackson. Unfortunately, right now, I don't think that's enough to get him in the top 16. So we'll see what Chad Anderson has, and see who fills out the top 16 and who's the top qualifier.
Coyote-powered BMW sure does sound good.
A lot of power. A lot of power.
A lot of smoke. Good angle.
Ooh,
Great
wow.
job filling out that outer zone one.
That was a great angle.
Zone
It's
two.
actually,
Little too much on her there, but
it's actually pretty cool when he came into that zone. He was looking right at us.
Makes the adjustment through the inner clipping point here, and gets nice and wide into outer zone 4 here, and really fills it out.
He's gonna have another good score. I mean, another pretty decent score. Attention in the pits, if you guys can hear this. C drivers, Group C drivers, get your cars ready. Get them to the lineup shoot area. And the first top qualifier right now is Mike Steele, and he's going to give it another run here, see if he can better his score of 93. Mike Steele.
Chad Anderson did a really good job filling that outer zone 4.
Very good run. We'll see what his score is here. Again, Group C drivers. And Group C, for those of you guys who don't know, a lot of them are beginners and still kind of learning. Learning the feel of everything. There's 3 groups here. Group A, B, C. So the A's are pretty much these guys out here doing the competition. And Group B is, they're just not Group A and they're not Group C. They can tandem a little bit better, together. And Group C is not really tandeming, yet.
No, B group here at Erie is basically A group anywhere else. It seems like they're, running 5-car tandems, and it's pretty spectacular actually, because B group just a couple years ago was a C class type driving.
Right,
and,
absolutely.
Now there's there's so many A group drivers, it's just like overflowed into a B group here.
Yep, and that's the B group's definitely the biggest group, largest group. So
a bunch of really good drivers.
Unfortunately, we're having little technical difficulty here on the scores here for Chad Anderson. Oh, there it is, a 77 for Chad and his second run. So definitely take his first run there. And Mike Steele is up next here. And then we got one more left.
Mike Steele, nice wide line through outer zone 1. Keeping it real wide coming into zone 2. Great angle. Great proximity to those clipping points. Fills out the zone really nice. Up tight to the wall. Super tight to interclip. Beautiful run by Mike Steele. The entire zone 4 out. Like pouring on a smoke. What a good run by Mike Steele. I mean, I didn't think he could best that 93, but I think this is going to be close.
Actually, you know, from what it seems like, we have our top 16. We'll just see who's the top qualifier, right? And we have one more person, 87. So Mike did not better his score, but he'll probably stick with his 93. Not quite sure, but that might be the highest so far. The first rounds, you know, that might be the highest score we've had out of both rounds. So Taylor Braun is up next. Oh, Mustang there. Dale would love it. Dale would love it. Dale would love it. All right, Group C. I don't see you guys getting your cars ready.
A lot of left foot
Hopefully
braking
you guys
by Taylor
are making an announcement here. And Taylor, nice run. I believe, straightened out a little bit there.
Standing on that brake pedal.
Just missed the outer zone there, and
see what he can do. Possibly best that 61.
better score, and we'll see what the top 16 show here. But Taylor definitely made the top 16. And giving the fans a little burn out there. And his 50 was his second run, so that definitely didn't better his first run. But we'll see what the top 16 show here. But tomorrow, 5 to 7 is the
C group.
top 16. Top 16 is tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. If you can make it out to Lake Erie Speedway, driven by Pro Waste, that'd be great. If not, we'll be live on YouTube and our Facebook, Great Lakes ProAm Series YouTube channel, and also our Lake